So, Kamen Rider Gotchard. We got our first look at Gotchard today. Well, this is not Gotchard. Here's Gotchard. Someone posted it online, and now we have this. And it matches up. We've been getting like descriptions and rumors of what the suit would look like for a few weeks. This seems to be accurate because it matches up with those descriptions and stuff. If this was fake, it would be like, who put this level of effort into this fake? Maybe it's fake and this stream is all for nothing, but right now I'm working off of, I'm pretty sure this is real. Apparently this logo, this might be fake. I've seen some people, Japanese people that would obviously be more skilled in this department than I am at least. They've said this logo is possibly fake or like it's different from the real version, like maybe there's more color or something. But at the very least, it seems like this suit and everything else, there's a bunch of other things we'll look at. These seem to be real. I am a fan of this. I do really like this suit. Something about the suit being blue is kind of nice coming off of Geats. The design, it's a little hard to see the design, like, not hard, you can see it, but it's like, obviously you haven't seen the full thing, so it's not like, I don't know if I can really say 100% where I'd like rank this in terms of like other primaries, but I can definitely say, like, I look at this, I'm like, hey, I like that looks cool. There's like a few motifs in it that are really, really cool, but I do want to, like, look at the other stuff to kind of like talk about why I think it looks cool. Or like there's some concepts going on here that make me like it more than just, hey, it looks cool. One thing that is interesting is you can see like there's like chrome on the feet. I think it kind of looks like that. Like there's this reflection on the, or not the feet, the legs. The legs have this chrome like design, which is pretty interesting. I don't think we've really, at least not recently, like no rider has had like some kind of chrome on the suit. The goggles are really cool as well. Like just having goggles I think are interesting, but the way it works with all the motifs is what makes me more like excited or more interested in this design. So let's talk about the motifs, I guess. I've seen a lot of people don't like this belt. I actually really like it because of the motifs, or like the concepts that it's going to be implementing, because it's just a square or a rectangle actually, or no, squares can be rectangles, either way. So it is kind of like a weird looking belt, but the way it seems like it's going to work, looking at this image as well, is what makes me excited for it. So I guess we should talk about the gimmicks, because the gimmicks and the motifs are, I think, one of the coolest things about this guy. So, we are getting cards again. It's been, since decade. It has been a while, over a decade, since we've gotten card riders in Kamen Rider. These are what Gotchard is going to be using to transform. He's using both. So we're doing, as you could probably tell from this image, we're going back to like mix and match right after Geats. We're going to mix and match riders again. If you look at the suit, knowing that, you can see that they've got a lot of like grasshopper and like train locomotive like design concepts. You can see like hopper legs kind of in the like the feet. The helmet obviously has the clearest like grasshopper thing going on, where he has bug antenna, he has grasshopper antenna, so it's cool that we've got that. But also the goggles, like with the antenna, make it look like Ichigo. Gotchard's helmet looks like Ichigo's helmet opened up, and then they've put like arrow eyes in the spot there. So then the train concepts are pretty, or I guess it's just one concept, it's pretty obvious. It's in the chest. It definitely looks like a thing in a train. I think the fire, like the printed on fire, that's a pretty cool little touch. Like it's cool because it like blends with the orange that he just has, but it also like, I don't know, it's a little unique kind of piece. So I really like that fire motif, and then I like the train. It looks like the front of a train just on his chest, so that's fun. So looking at the cards again, the cards are like Hopper 1 is a 1 obviously, and then Steamliner is a 9. So you add them together and it's a 10, right? And then all over the suit are X's. X's on the feet, X's, well, the face is kind of an X, like with the arrows. So it seems like the way this belt system is going to work is you put in 2 cards, and then they have to add up to 10, or maybe they don't have to. We obviously we have no idea, but it seems like at least for this base form, they add to 10, and then it's like an X, 10 X's all over or whatever. Presumably, if there's another 9, you could add Hopper to that and get a new form. I think that would be pretty neat. The belt, the way the belt looks to be using them is you put them in backwards, but then like you can see on the belt in the full suit, you can see like his helmet is completed. Like you can definitely see the goggles on the form in this picture of the belt. That's not in this picture of the belt. Like the belt's very blank here. So it seems like the cards on the back are gonna have like parts of the helmet, and then when you put them in the belt, and obviously you'll like pull things on the side and they'll line up in the middle, it's gonna create the rider, like the face of Gotchard's form. That is gonna be super cool. I really love when Rider does stuff like that. Like I guess the last example, or the main example I think of is Saber, where the books had images of the arms, the chest, and the other arm, so that when you pull the sword and they all open up, you get this visual of the Rider form. And this is like a miniature version of that, where you put in cards and they will create an image of the helmet. If they're gonna overlap, like one of them has to be transparent or something, so maybe only one of them is gonna form the helmet. Then if you put Steamliner in the other side where you need a helmet, would it create a different helmet? So can we get different forms? Like Geats, you know, like Geats, we get Magnum Boost and you can get Boost Magnum. Could we get, like, let's just play with names here. If this is like Hopper Locomotive or Hopper Steam, could you switch them and get Steam Hopper? That would be really cool. If we, like, it kind of feels like we're, like, doing what Geats did again, where we've got, like, half and half forms, top and bottom. You can switch the components so it's, like, the same 2 gimmicks to make 2 different forms. It seems like they're doing, like, it's working really different here in terms of the suit, because the Hopper and Steam cards don't have any, like, there's no turquoise or, like, teal, blue, whatever color you'd say Gotchard is. None of that is here. Like, Hopper is orange, obviously, but Steamliner's purple, and Gotchard's not purple. What I'm interpreting here is, like, he's turquoise or blue, whatever color you'd say this is. So whatever form changes he does, he's gonna keep this color, but he's gonna do this mix and match thing. And if that's true, I think that would be really cool. Like, that's a really cool, like, implementation. Because then, like, I'm thinking, like, then if other riders use this belt and mix and match or whatever, they would theoretically have, like, the same locomotive chest piece or whatever, but it's a different color. The other thing, too, that's, like, really cool about the gimmicks is just, like, the card art is fantastic. It reminds me a lot of Saber and X8 once again, where they had all these unique little, like, art designs on each of the gimmicks, and now they did it again, but now it's on cards, and I think it's really cool. What's really cool too is, like, they're clearly the same art style, which X8 and Saber didn't do, and they've got this really fun motif of the compound eyes being incorporated into the design. Like, the Grasshopper has compound eyes, and this train has compound eyes. Trains don't, fun fact, most trains don't have eyes. I know some of them do, but usually they don't. And this doesn't look like one that would usually have eyes, but it does, and they give it, like, compound rider eyes. So that's really fun. I also do like the rider stamp on the forehead of the train. Trains don't actually have foreheads. We also have more card art already. So this is unfortunate. I'm pretty sure the one on the left is supposed to be pirates, because it is the it's a pirate that's what we're looking at. That is a pirate, but it's spelled pilots or pilots. So I think this is like a Japanese mistranslation thing, because Gokaiger had the mobilettes in some translations. So I'm just gonna call this pirates, or the pirate card, because I'm not saying pilots or whatever. I think I'd say the car is my favorite. Mad Wheel. First of all, Mad Wheel. That's a fun name for a little card. And then it's just a really badass looking car. And once again, they gave it eyes, so it has little eyes. I think that's cool. Also, too, they all have like arrows. I mean, Gotchard's whole thing seems to be arrows. The Hopper has arrows behind him. The train has a big arrow on the nose, I guess, of this train. The pirate has an arrow, or his whole face is kind of, I think that is his face. So his whole face is like an arrow. His jaw is just really triangular, which is unfortunate. And then Mad Wheel has an arrow on the hood. So there's like this arrow. So I guess Gotchard's arrow motif is going on throughout all the cards, which is really cool. And also the belt, arrows point at the cards connecting in the belt. So I think that's pretty cool. It seems like the whole motif is arrows, or the cards combined to 10. So the arrows are pointing out to an X because it's 10 in Roman numerals. So this thing, we also have, speaking of arrows, we have this gun, and it has arrows on it too. I don't really like this gun. It's whatever. It looks like a railroad crossing thing. Like, at least, if anyone knows Tokuger, I'm pretty sure, like, it reminds me of the Tokuger sword, because that's just what the Tokuger sword is. I think another thing that's interesting about the gun is the bottom, but below the barrel, or I don't know what part of the gun you'd call that, but it looks like you can store cards there. I would assume the bottom part is a storage container. So then it's like, what's going on there? What's happening? Is it like Decade, where the weapon stores the cards again? Because that would be interesting. But also, maybe it's not. Some of you have said that Mad Wheel looks like a Decepticon, which does explain why I like it. Yeah, it's like a Transformer card on a Kamen Rider card. As people point out, the Hopper's 1 and Steamliner's 9 add up to 10. I almost said Piglet. Like Piglet? Pirate is 4 and Mad Wheel is 6, which also adds up to 10. And given these two were leaked together, and we know these are the base form, it seems like these two also go together. What happens if you don't add to 10? Like, what happens if you do Hopper and Pirates? It goes to 5. Does that even create a form? Can you do Steamliner and Mad Wheel? That will go over 10. Will that even create a form? Or Mad Wheel and Hopper, that will only go to 8 or 7. Sorry, I can't do math. Will that work? So I think that's a fun little question that we'll have to see in the coming weeks or months. All the little cards have little icons or something next to the name. So Hopper 1 has a little bug thing. Pirates has this man. He's strong man. The two vehicles have the same vehicle symbol, so we can see that's being repeated. So at least it seems like the through line for forms is a vehicle. It needs to be something in a vehicle. Rumors, we have other rumors right now for Gotchard. There's like one rumor that says he's gonna be like a chef or something, and he runs like a bakery, which is weird. I don't know how that fits in with any of this at all. Like, the closest thing is the steam liner and steam from baking, but I don't think that's how baking works. Then there's another rumor that will be that the show is like in a school. I don't remember much else other than it's a school, which personally I think that sounds pretty cool. Like, I know it just sounds like Forza, but at least because if these are trading cards in the game, or like a trading card game in the show, like putting it in a school sounds like a perfect idea, because it would be kids trading cards, the word trading twice, and then he can use the trading cards to become a rider. And like, at least like what I hear with that, if I'm like, so there's this trading card going on, and it's the rider's gimmick, it adds this fun little element of like how he gets new forms, because I'd assume he doesn't get new forms. I mean, maybe he gets new forms from just defeating monsters, but maybe he also has to trade cards with some people or something. Like, I don't know. There's this fun element if it is a trading card game and he's a kid in school trading cards. He has to like actively get his other forms from other students. This one I think is pretty confirmed, which is that there's gonna be an upgrade item that's like a trigger, like a hazard trigger thing on the belt. Don't know how that works. We don't really have anything else other than that little tidbit that there's a thing you stick on the belt. Fun fact, in Kamen Rider, you do stick things on belts. It's a rumor, but it's also like, yeah, I kind of expected that he's supposed to appear in the Geats movie in a cameo, but apparently when he cameos in the movie, he will use Legend Rider cards, or at least show them off. I think there's rumors that 2 are appearing, where one is just Geats, and then another is like all the Geats riders, or not all of them because there are like 25. I mean like Geats, Tycoon, Nago, and Buffa. So I don't know which one of those is real, or if both of those are real. This thing on his left arm, there's like a thing on his left arm. There's something on his left arm, and I know, again, one of our first descriptions was Kamen Rider Yu-Gi-Oh. So like, I know in Yu-Gi-Oh! They have that thing on the wrist, the dual disc, I think it's called, and they put cards in there. So, is this what the leak meant when they said Kamen Rider Yu-Gi-Oh? He has a thing from Yu-Gi-Oh! On his wrist where he stores cards. That would be pretty cool. So, Hopper 1 is called Hopper 1. So, I feel like that is a very big indication that some of the power-ups are going to be Hopper other number. You've put a number right there. I feel like it's pretty obvious we're going to get other hoppers that are different numbers. I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that the final form, or one of the forms, is going to be a Hopper X. That just makes sense to me. Maybe Hopper 0 will be a Berserker. Hopper 0, maybe not a Berserker, but definitely Hopper 0 could be a fun little thing. An evil rider or someone like that. Hopper and Cycle hopefully will be the final form. Yeah, they could. I guess if we set up vehicles and we're not doing the motorcycle as the base form because Geats, I feel like, yeah, the motors still have to bring in a motorcycle at some point, right? And then the final form does make sense. I'm excited to learn more information about Gotchard. I think I am going to leave it there with Gotchard. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the Patreon. Only $2 if you want some of that early access stuff. So, yeah, that's about it.